LibreOffice can be installed on a Mac, on a Linux system, or, in this case, in Windows 10. In our Windows 10 system, we have a LibreOffice shortcut on the desktop that requires double-clicking to start the program, and we also have a shortcut on the taskbar that requires a single click to start the program. This tutorial follows very closely Lesson 1 as found in Len's Introduction to Word Processing with LibreOffice Writer. There is a PDF version of this book available online, and you can download it for free. You should watch a section of this video and then pause the video and open your PDF copy of the tutorial and go through the step-by-step instructions. Once you have started a new LibreOffice Writer document, check the display settings to see that they correspond with those used in the video. If the menu bar is not on this display, use the menu bar toggle to turn it on. And you'll see the menu bar on the top horizontal line right underneath the title bar. Then go to View User Interface and choose the tabbed User Interface. You'll also want to toggle the sidebar on. You should notice on the title bar that the program you're running is identified as LibreOffice Writer, and the name of the document is currently Untitled 1. We're going to change the name of the document from Untitled to Blank Document. So you'll select the File tab, then select Save As, and that will open the Save As dialog box. There you have to choose the drive and the folder and the subfolder where you're going to save your documents, and then in the file name enter blank document and then select Save. Once you've completed that step, the title bar will show the name of the document that you're working on as blankdocument.odt. You need to know that word processing documents include a lot more than just the words. They also include all of the style information for paragraph styles, page styles, and a lot more. The reason for saving a blank document is so that after you've been working for a while, if you want to start from scratch, from where you were at the very beginning, you can always load your blank document with all its settings and save it with a new file name, and you'll be starting again fresh. Some word processing users, especially those who have done a lot of typing in their background, don't like to have this formatting marks toggled on. They don't like to see these strange symbols there. But in order to keep control of what's really going on in the formatting of your document, I recommend that you turn this on and keep it on. Let's just review these non-printing characters again. Here's a text in a document with the toggle formatting marks turned off. You have no idea how this was created. If I turn on the toggle formatting marks, you'll see that here's a paragraph with no words at all. Here's a paragraph that starts with a tab key press. There's the little non-printing character symbol for a tab press. And this paragraph starts with a lot of spaces. And here's another paragraph with no words. With this turned off, you can't tell how these things were formatted. I find that a lot of people are surprised sometimes when they print a document and the stupid printer prints an extra page with nothing on it. Well, it turns out if they would have turned the formatting marks on, they would have found that there were empty paragraphs on that other page, and the printer is faithfully printing them even though there are no words in those paragraphs. I've gone ahead and I've entered the text as described in Lesson 1, and I was very careful about when I pressed the Enter key. I only pressed the Enter key here, as you can see by the paragraph mark, and I pressed it again here, and again, this is the last paragraph. Now notice several things. If you have the Home tab selected, you can see that this document, actually, it's not this document. You can see the paragraph style that is used where the cursor is currently in a paragraph. If I select the cursor any point in this first paragraph, this paragraph style indicator will tell me the style that's used in that paragraph. There may be different styles in different paragraphs. However, in this document, no matter which paragraph I click in, default style, or this paragraph, it's all using the default style. Typists, when they start typing using the default style, are tempted at the end of a paragraph to hit the enter key an extra time to put extra spaces, or if they want a double space between lines, they're tempted to hit the carriage return alias enter key to format it the way you format it with a typewriter. You must resist that temptation if you're an experienced typist. Only press the enter key when you want to end a paragraph. Very soon you'll see how we can adjust the spacing for lines and between paragraphs very quickly and easily. But what we're going to do first is we're going to make sure that all of the text in this document is selected. And with a cursor any place in the document, I'm going to use the shortcut, Control A. I hold the Control key down and I press the letter A. And you notice now that all of the text is now highlighted. Now I'm going to go to the Set Paragraph Style tool, and I'm going to click on the little arrow, and I'm going to select the Text Body tool. And you notice that immediately, now I'll click away to deselect that. Immediately you'll see the spacing between lines has changed, and the spacing between paragraphs have changed. All of those settings are stored in a paragraph style named Text Body. In a future lesson, you're going to learn how to create your own custom paragraph styles where you have complete control over the font, the line spacing, the spacing between paragraphs. You notice that the default here was Times New Roman 12, but all of that can be controlled by the paragraph style that's being used. I'm going to make a prediction that someday you're going to end up with multiple blue bruises on your forehead because you didn't save your documents often enough. Something will happen, either the power will go out or something else will happen, and you'll lose everything and you'll have to start and enter all of that text, recreate that document. The rule of thumb is never spend more time working than you're willing to repeat if something bad happens. So let's go ahead and save this document now with a new file name. So I'll go to the File tab. I'm going to select Save As. The Save As dialog box opens, and I have to select my hard drive and my file folder, and then I'm going to enter the name My Lesson 1 Document. And then I'll select Save. And as soon as that step is completed, the name up here on the title bar will change to the name that you just saved the document with. Now that you've created a document and you saved it safely away, let's take a quick look at how to print a document. By the way, on the left side of the tabs, there's this area of little tools that do not change no matter which tab I select. Those tabs are constantly there, and one of those tools is a print tool. So it's always available. I'll select the print tool. Now this is going to change from one computer to the next depending on what kind of printer you have installed, and also you may have certain software installed that allows you to print to PDF files or to other kinds of files. The computer I'm using right now has a Brother laser printer, and so I'll select that, and then I have the option of selecting all the pages. If I had multiple pages, I could select one page at a time or any combination of pages. I could also select multiple copies. All of these things will vary depending on your printer and your installation locally. Before I print, it's not a bad idea to look at this little thumbnail preview of what it's going to look like, and it will remind me that I'm using 8.5 by 11-inch paper, and it will fit on the paper about like that with the current margins. Depending on the printer model you selected, there are other options you may be able to choose for your printer. Let's take a minute to review some of the important vocabulary words that you need to take away from this lesson. The desktop, in a Windows environment at least, the desktop refers to the main display on the screen when the Windows operating system opens up. A quick launch taskbar in Windows is a collection of one-click program shortcuts. In most Windows displays, the taskbar is a horizontal area at the bottom of the display, but some users change the location to the left side, right side, or top. Select. Select means to move the mouse pointer over an object and click the left mouse button once. Double-click. Double-click means to move the mouse pointer over an object and click the left mouse button twice. A word processing document is just a computer file that contains text and style information. To get the most out of these lessons, it's always a good idea to close out the lesson you just completed and then start all over from the very beginning. You'll be surprised in some of these lessons. The second time or the third time through, you'll discover things that you didn't realize were there the first time you went through. This is like learning to play the piano. If you're going to be able to play a particular selection very well, you have to go over it a number of times. And the same thing is true when you're learning word processing. So practice, and once you've practiced a bit, come back for lesson 2.